तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू बढ़ता
Hi everyone, today we have Shabd Sharma with us. Shabd aspired to be in uniform since class 11th and finally got recommended in his sixth attempt for Indian Air Force by FCAT entry and is joining Air Force Academy for his training this 31st. So we're really proud of you, Shabd, and big congratulations.
Thank you so
Uh,
much, ma'am.
yeah. Okay. So to start, which I'm curious to know, what motivated you to get into armed forces? Since you said that you aspire to be in uniform since class 11th.
Ma'am, as far as I had studied about it, the work environment that is there in the armed forces, the camaraderie and that bonding that is there in the Indian Air Force, this was one of the reasons. Second reason was the grooming that you get into the forces is unmatched in any other organization. The discipline that they have, the way they live life. These are some of the things that have always attracted the young me to get into the forces.
Okay, great. So tell me, what are the major areas of improvement you identified after you joined No Frills Academy?
Ma'am, the basic reason for my joining No Frills Academy was misguidance that was scattered on the internet, and the I had read Sir on Quora, and I had also bought the ebooks that were available on the Instagram channel. So after that, I came to know that there is a very single point clear guidance that can come from Nehru sir. So which was my main reason for joining the No Frills Academy. And the improvements that I was able to do was any doubt that was there in my mind, there was a single answer that was coming to it. Because right now, if you write anything on Google, there are hundreds of answers coming from hundred of academies, and they all are contradicting each other. So you go into that analysis of self doubt. Okay, am I right or not? So this is a very
Yeah.
thing that is there in repeaters. So I joined it for a proper guidance, and this was what improved me a lot. I was guided very nicely. Okay, this is what is actually there is good, and this is actually what should not be done.
Yeah. So did you take any coachings before joining NFA also?
Yes, ma'am, I did take coaching. My attempts can be divided into two categories: one before
Okay.
graduation, one after graduation.
Hmm.
Four attempts before graduation and two attempts after my graduation. So
Yeah.
in my NDA attempts in which I gave, I took coaching, but
Okay.
it didn't prove out to be that helpful because they were only focusing on the cosmetic changes in your personality and nothing else.
Hmm. I see. Okay, so since you said that there was a lot of misguidance on various on the internet, so what are your views on practicing psychology tests and tips given on various website about TAT, VAT? Are they useful?
I don't think that they are useful because whenever in SSB you'll, as per my experience, whenever in SSB you will prepare for a particular test, you will never be able to clear SSB. You have to concentrate on your personality, and that will be reflected in test because at the end it is a personality test. So in my
Yeah,
opinion,
basically your overall effectiveness.
overall effectiveness which will be seen in the test, it is not like we can
Hmm.
prepare for a particular test. So this
Yeah.
is one of the reason that I feel is there, and we should not practice a lot of PPDT, TAT, VAT, SRTs, SD. You can obviously make SED and get it checked by a good mentor of yours, but practicing TAT, VAT will not be of good help.
Okay. And what? Give me some highlights of your SSB performance. How was it better than the past? Like you said that you've earlier also given attempts, and this was your sixth attempt. How was it better than the previous attempts?
Ma'am, the biggest thing that was there was that I didn't have self doubt. So before in my previous SB, 4 to 5 SSB that I had given, and there was a self doubt that I will not be able to make it. And it was like the saying goes, the past is the best predictor of future. So I was not recommended in the past will mean that I will not be recommended in the future. So this was a
Correct.
thing that was there.
Absolutely.
So the thing that worked this time was Nehru sir told me that don't go with self doubt when you are entering the SSB or AFSB, whichever you go, be confident that you are here to be recommended. You are fit to be recommended, and you will be recommended. All you need to do is give your best. So I didn't have self doubt this time, which was a major thing for me. And second was in my before graduation attempts, 4 NDA attempts. What happened was I was not much groomed as far as many areas of my personality were concerned, because I was a little more into like education and stuff, but I was not into extracurricular activities and sports. So I tried on my personality. I worked on my personality by taking different areas of responsibility, taking some responsibilities, and which groomed me. So these are the two reasons which I feel worked up.
Okay, so as you said that you explored more and tried to take up some extracurricular activities. So this is a very frequent question I get from students, that there's a section to write for hobbies. So I hope you did not make up any forced hobby for that.
Post hobby in the sense that just for the
Forced
SSB.
hobby, like just for the SSB.
No,
Yeah.
no, I didn't do that. I was
Yeah.
very clear that this is a very wrong saying, that if you cannot make it, fake it. I was like, if
Yeah.
I cannot make it, I will never fake it. So this was the thing that was there. I never wrote something like that.
Okay, great. Good to know that. I hope many of the students, they'll get cleared with this fact. Okay, so
Definitely.
we have received some questions from our students, and I hope they get their answers. So the first question comes from Pavan. He says that how did you prepare for TAT and VAT? So this is
Again,
psychology is a basic problem, I guess, with the students. So, but
so
still, I would like you to answer that.
so it went on with the procedure of No Frills Academy. So once we enroll, there is a elaborated form, then PIQ that comes, and then there is an detailed interview by Colonel Nehru, and then there is a psychological test that takes place. So that psychological test was the only practice that I did. So we were made to do a psychological test, and it was assessed personally by Colonel Nehru sir. So that was the only preparation I could do, and in that specifically, Nehru sir told me that what areas have to be improved in me, and not what have to be improved in TAT or VAT. So again, my focus will be not to focus on TAT or VAT. Just make sure that you are able to write VAT in 15 seconds and TAT in 4.5 minutes. That should be only your focus. Or SRT you are able to do in at least 45 or above in those 30 minutes. Your focus should be that. But except for that, except for the time limits in which you are able to do exam, there is no specific practicing of showing OLQs or something that needs to be done.
Okay, so this question comes since you are from engineering background, as you mentioned. Uh, uh, he wants to ask about EKT. Since Ankit says that since we are not in touch with our engineering books now, is there any precise source to prepare for EKT?
See, there are two sources which I refer to, as I was also a graduate. I am a July 2019 batch pass out, and after my engineering, I was also not in touch. So there are two sources which worked for me, and I'll recommend. One is there is an EKT book by SSB Crack, which is available on the internet, which is the only source of EKT that was available 1 year back when I was preparing. So that is a good book. It has a lot of it is according to the syllabus. And the second book that I referred to was Made Easy's book, Fundamentals of Mechanical Engineering, or something of this name. There are that is a book that is there, and which is very precise. So these two precise books were there, which worked for me in case of EKT. And rest, you need to be good in your mechanical engineering or whatever engineering background that you are in. But yes, these two worked.
You should be clear with your core subjects. You can pick them up,
Definitely.
like for last minute reference, you can pick up these books.
And definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next question is from Gia. She says that, is it true that you really need to score like 200 plus in your written, or SSB marks matter more?
See, as far as I have seen, there is a person who gets into the merit list at 152 also. My score was 162 in AFCAT, and I also made it to the merit list. But scoring more will increase your chances to get into the merit. So there are people who get merit out at 180, 170, 150. So there is a low chance of getting merit in when your score is low. Because when your score is low, it is only dependent upon the SSB marks, which sums up to make it to the merit list. So just make sure whenever you give the exam, qualifying AFCAT exam is comparatively little less difficult or little easy as compared to CDS or other exams. But your focus should not be to qualify, but to bring at least 180 plus marks, which increases your probability of getting into the merit list.
Okay. Since we are talking about FCAT and about these marks, so would you like to give some tips on preparing for the written FCAT exam?
Actually, as I was doing a job along with, so I could not refer to much of the books, but there are some of the online platforms that are available, like GradeUp, which worked for me. I took some basics of GradeUp, and there is this application TestPot. So there are many applications available which give you precise information on what to be studied and what not to be studied, and you can practice them over. So there are online platforms, you can search them up, you can do your research and then choose them, because that will take a least of time and most of the practice. But I do not prefer, well, at this in this job scenario, reading books and all. But what works for you, what works for you. Online, these courses work for me.
Okay, great. So this question is from Sri Hari. What did they ask in the interview related to your branch?
Specifically, according to in my mechanical engineering branch, there were not much of the questions that were posed. There were like 5-6 questions which were posed, which I'll like to share. They started off with a basic question that which car do you have, and I said I have Wagoner. So they asked me what is its capacity. I told them the capacity, like 1000 cc, or one specifically I knew at that time. So 1008 cc, something of that sort. So they told me what is cc. I told them it is centimeter cube. Then they told what are the kinds of engine that are available. So I told them there are boxer engine, there are inline engines, and etc. And then they asked me how does an engine works. So I told them the 4 strokes and everything. And then they asked me, do you have a petrol car or a diesel car? I told them I have a petrol car. And they asked me, is it a spark ignition or a compression ignition? So these were the few questions. After this, I told them it is a spark ignition engine. And after that, the questions were like, these were the only questions that were asked to me. So it were around the engines specifically, as far as mechanical engineers need to know.
Okay. So someone has to ask that did you prepare for questions from your branch?
Uh, Again, what I am saying is, okay, you need to be prepared, but you need to be well versed with what you are studying. So I was kind of above average student in my mechanical engineering, and otherwise also in 10th and 12th. So yes, I did prepare. I kept some of my areas for general interviews and SSB as well, which were engines, automobiles, etc. So these were the areas which I prepared. But yes, you need to be well versed with everything if you're studying it.
Basically, if your basics are clear, then you will get through. So,
Definitely.
this question comes. I have done 12th. I have done 12th from commerce with maths background and graduation in arts, and I want to join Air Force and flying branch. Someone told me that I can appear for 12th physics exam from open board. Is there an option? Is there some option like that?
I'm not very sure of this. You'll have to check it over the notification of AFCAT and the eligibility criteria.
So next question is, can I join flying branch after LASIK surgery? As I read on Quora that after LASIK, only helicopters and transport aircrafts are allowed.
According to my limited knowledge, after LASIK surgery, there is a specific time period that is there. I do not know exactly if it is 6 months or 1 year or whatever the case may be. So after that, you can apply for the Air Force and they'll consider you. But if you want to see this, it can be, I think, found in the medical book, which is written by Colonel Nehru, or over the Indian Army, Indian Navy, and Air Force site. If you want to get into Air Force, it will be mentioned over the Air Force site. So you can write them up. And if in case you want it, you can also mail them. They are replying nowadays quite frequently.
So it would be the best to refer the trusted websites for that, I would say.
They have medical written there.
So the next question is, what was your schedule for daily life? Like, what schedule did you follow since you said you were working, and how did you manage work and preparing for SSB?
Okay. So my schedule worked up like this. Like I used to get up in the morning like 6, and then I used to either go to my gym or go to my running. So I had these two things which I worked on my physical fitness for. And after this, I used to plan my day. This was an important task to keep me myself more disciplined with my life. I used to plan up my day, what task needs to be done. I had to leave from my home at around 8:30 in the morning. I had to report to my office at 9 a.m. And then from 9 to 5, it was completely the job scenario. And it extended to sometimes 7. Then I used to come back home, and 7 to 9 time was my study time, in which I used to read some of my novels, which I kept myself to my reading habits for my reading habits. And if I missed the gym in the morning due to some of the reason, I used to do it in the evening, trying to maintain like 5 days a week. And after that, it was the normal studies that were used to be done for the AFCAT, EKT, and CDS and other examinations. This was the schedule, and 9 to 10 was my family time, in which I used to have dinner with them. And after that, for 1 hour, I used to sit and see what more can be done in my direction. I used to plan my like SSB, what can be done better for my SSB. Is it the practice of lecturate? Because lecturate is a thing that more you prepare, more you'll be confident in front of others. And then my newspaper reading was there at the end of my day. I used to refer to the Hindu as told by Nehru sir, and if I had used to have less time, I used to read all the editorials that were there. If I used to have more time, I used to read the entire newspaper, and used to think from the perspective of group discussion that I can have an opinion on a particular topic. And after that, if specific preparations need to be done for anything, like I used to self introspect for interview and stuff. So this was done, and I used to sleep by approximately 11, so that I have a good 7 hours sleep to keep through the day.
Okay, very well answered, Shab. Okay, so the next question comes up. How did you practice for GTO,
Okay,
like PGT, HGT?
okay. The GTO is basically there are 9 to 10 tasks that are there, in which 4 tasks are PGT, HGT, CD, and FGT. As far as they were concerned, they didn't need specific preparation, but what my way was, there are a lot of videos available on the YouTube for that. So I used to open up those videos, and I used to pause them just before someone is trying to give a solution. So I used to analyze the obstacles, and then I used to see, okay, I'll put the patta that way, I'll put the balli that way, and I'll solve this problem this way. So this was what I used to do, and then I used to see what is their solutions. So I still have links in my phone. There are approximately 50 links that are available. I had searched the entire YouTube. So as far as PGT, HGT, CD, and FGT were concerned, I used to see the videos, what solutions can be applied. And as far as the group discussion is concerned, I used to keep myself abreast with the newspaper and the editorial specifically. Lecturate, same. You need to keep yourself well versed with the newspaper, so that you know what around you is going, and you should have an opinion on everything that comes. And then there were individual obstacle and group obstacle race, in which you need to keep yourself in a good physical stamina, and also you need to be helping, and you need to be problem solving in everything. There
I
is a
think you've
GP.
covered all.
GP is left.
Yeah.
So GP, there are sample GPs available. You can just see one over them and see the area of your, how can you write GPs. Like you'll write problems for solutions, what in the best possible manner. It is the only sheet that goes to the GTO. So you can see yourself how you'll present it. So all my focus was on demonstrating myself, keeping myself original.
Thank you so much, Shab. The next question is, what were some defense-related questions asked in the interview, if there were any?
There were questions asked, like 3 national and 3 international news, in which they asked me about the recent inductions into the Indian Air Force, in which I told about Rafale, Chinook, and Apache. And they asked me further questions about them, or about their origin, if Chinook is a transport one, if it is a tandem rotor, and specific questions to that. To that, they asked me about the Rafale deal in a small detail, in a small one, and about Apache. They asked me, okay, if it is a fighter one or a transport one. So basic questions about the recent inductions. And these were all the questions asked about defense to me.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering all the questions, Shab. I'm sure they will be of help to the aspirants. And one should go through the feedback which will be posted soon by Shab. He has given an elaborative feedback on the medicals also, and that has been really helpful to the students. And I'm sure the SSB feedback also will be of a lot of help to the students. So the last thing I would say, the closing message we usually take for the aspirants. So any message for the aspirants you would like to give?
I have two messages, small messages, that do not stay in a self-doubt, because as repeaters, many of repeaters who might be seeing me, we stay in a self-doubt. We see life from the perspective of IO, psychologist and GTO, and every task that comes in our life, we are like, okay, it is NSRT, or it is something that can be asked in the interview. So this happens. So don't overanalyze things. Take guidance from any source that comes, but yes, stick to it. Do not get misguided by hundreds of the sources. So this is what my message to all the repeaters and all the students out there will be through your channel. And the second will be that Defense Force is a great institution to be in. You get groomed, you get very good environment, your life changes for the next years. You stay in the Air Force, Navy, Army, whatever the case may be. So think of getting into it. And there are short service commission also available that you can give 10 years to it, and then you can come out in the civil street if you wish that way also. So in any case, it is a great institution to be in. Just if the people who are new to this area of defense, if you think it that way, short service commission is also quite attractive nowadays, because you give 10 years of your life to the country, and you can enjoy the in the civil street, you can enjoy them the next 30 years if you wish to. So this is a great thing to do. And thank you so much for having me here. It was great
Thank
connecting
you
with
so
everyone.
much, Shab, for taking out time, since you also have very short time left to
Just
join
2
the
days to
academy
go.
finally. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, and all the very best for your future.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
From the NFF fraternity, I would like to wish you all the best for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.